Now, from the WCCO Live Desk, you're watching CBS News Minnesota.
Hello and good morning. I'm Barrett Leone in for Maria Lizignoli. It's 10 o'clock live in the WCCO newsroom. Thanks for joining us here at the Live Desk. Happening right now, lawmakers in Minnesota and beyond are launching a new nationwide effort aimed at increasing accountability for federal immigration agents. They're pushing for the ability to sue ICE agents in state court. Lawmakers from Minnesota, Illinois, Colorado, and Utah are in Chicago right now getting ready to unveil new legislation they believe will do just that. We are still waiting for a press conference to get started. It's expected to start any moment now. And these lawmakers, they're members of the State Innovation Exchange, and it includes State Senator Omar Fateh. The legislation would allow citizens to pursue civil lawsuits against ICE agents for alleged constitutional violations. And supporters say the proposal is meant to create more accountability for ICE. They're pointing to recent deaths involving ICE agents, including the deaths of Renee Good and Alex Preddy here in Minnesota, as evidence that stronger oversight is needed. The group says to date, no federal immigration enforcement agent has been convicted of criminal wrongdoing. We also know that similar laws have already passed in a handful of states, and lawmakers we are waiting to hear from. They are now working to expand this effort across the country. We will be sure to check in once lawmakers get chatting here, and we will bring you the very latest as it happens. A first-of-its-kind Minnesota law is facing a new challenge. Elon Musk is trying to stop the ban on AI-powered notification apps. Now, Elon Musk, he founded artificial intelligence company xAI. The company filed a federal lawsuit over the ban. xAI says it strictly prohibits users from making sexualized content without consent, but claims Minnesota's law is too broad and violates free speech. Nearly every single Minnesota lawmaker voted in favor of the bill during the last legislative session. And one of the authors of the bill, DFL Representative Jess Hansen, called Musk's lawsuit, quote, absolutely disgusting. And she said she looks forward to hearing Elon Musk trying to explain to the public exactly the redeeming qualities he thinks notification has. Governor Tim Walz chimed in on social media saying, quote, see you in court, creep. Minnesota's Attorney General has 3 weeks to respond to the suit. There's also a press conference happening at the state capitol today to highlight Minnesota's notification ban. It's expected to start in about 30 minutes here. We plan to take that live right here at the Live Desk. The new law is supposed to take effect this Saturday, August 1st, but this lawsuit could change that outcome. Our Adam Duxter will also have an update on WCCO at noon. Happening in Lakeville today, it's your chance to help sustain our region's blood supply. The city of Lakeville is hosting their 30th annual blood drive today from 9 until 4. That will be over at the McGuire Middle School gym. And the Washington County Fair, it begins today. All sorts of fun happening over in Stillwater, from rides, games, vendors, exhibits, and more. The fair has been around for 155 years, and it lasts through Sunday. Again, over in Stillwater, kids 7 and under get in free. And if you are headed to the fair today, you're going to need to stay hydrated. It is another day in the 90s. Our trend of above average temperatures, it continues. This is a live look outside downtown Minneapolis, the Next Weather Tower shining white. Let's check in with Next Weather meteorologist Katie Steiner.
It's going to be hot today. 80 degrees is where we are right now. By 1 p.m. we're at 88. It already feels like 83 degrees. Fun fact, that is our high temperature, like an average high temperature for today. Dew Point is very warm as well at 68 degrees. So another thing that we do have to talk about is the air quality, because if you look outside, you can kind of see a little bit of haze out there. Yes, we are dealing with some air quality issues, but they're not that bad. It's a moderate level right now for most of the state of Minnesota and western Wisconsin. You can see a lot of that yellow. What we're talking about here is smoke in the upper atmosphere, not necessarily where we are breathing it in. So that's why we're looking at moderate levels. We also have a couple of heat advisories that are in effect right now, especially for places. The only ones we have are up to the north. To the northeast, this goes until 7 o'clock. You can see feeling as hot as 92 degrees. And then to the northwest, that goes till 9 because we're feeling a little bit warmer out there. Dew points are going to stay high throughout the day. And if you're going to be outside all day today, or maybe if you're going for 4 hours for a golf tea time, 93 degrees is your high temperature. Make sure you grab the water, find some shade, all the things, because it's going to be warm again. Low temperature 74 degrees here in the Twin Cities. We are going to warm up tomorrow to 91. And then we have our next weather change. We want to talk about this. This is rain coming through at 6:30. This is going to push on through. These storms potentially could be severe. We have a 1 out of 5 chance for severe weather. And then the bulk of the moisture is going to be to the south. That's going to hit the Twin Cities, I would say, around 4 a.m. And then we'll see the rain throughout the morning. This is your look at 6:15 in the morning. We're most likely going to be raining, and we could see some heavy rain, about 1/2 inch to 1 inch here in the Twin Cities. So that is your day on Friday. Then Saturday and Sunday here you can see 86 degrees on the first day of August, 89 degrees on Sunday, back into the 90s because, you know, why not? We haven't been there a lot this summer anyway. And then Tuesday we go back to the 80s, which is where we should be climately.
Thanks, Katie. Happening right now, lawmakers in Minnesota and beyond, they are launching a new nationwide initiative aimed at increasing accountability for ICE agents. They are pushing for the ability to sue ICE agents in state court. We are hearing from lawmakers now over in Chicago. Let's listen in.
Our leadership will be committed to supporting that every step of the way and helping expand their efforts in even more states so that the positive impacts can be felt nationwide and making people safe. So as long as state legislators are the first line of defense in championing progressive values, Stick to Action will be their hub and connector for shaping the policy required to do so. Today, we will hear from state legislators building a nationwide momentum by introducing or reintroducing accountability laws. We will hear from Illinois State Senator Graciela Guzman, Minnesota State Senator Omar Fate, Colorado State Senator Mike Weissman, and Utah State Senator Luz Escamilla, as well as Maryland Delegate Ashley Martinez. Afterward, we'll have a time for question and answers. And first, I will turn it over to Illinois Senator Guzman.
Can we hold on for a second? I understand Thomas light. Gonna mess up the lighting on all the guys. Is that better? Yeah. Yep.
Thank you for the lighting. Good morning, everyone. I'm State Senator Graciela Guzman. I proudly represent Illinois' 20th District, also a co-chair of our Illinois Latino Legislative Caucus. And then when I'm reflecting about when I first took office almost 2 years ago, I never imagined that I would spend the majority of my first 2 years in my term drafting laws and helping support laws that protect people from our own federal government. I thought we'd be talking about lowering healthcare, lowering costs, funding our schools, and fighting for a more equitable Illinois. And instead, this administration has forced states like ours into a different kind of work, which is defending our communities from federal overreach. I stand here today as the daughter of Salvadoran immigrants, someone who has engaged in organized and rapid response, and as someone who has watched the evolution of state law. For more than a decade, Illinois has made a conscious decision about the kind of state that we want to be. We passed the Trust Act because local law enforcement should not be carrying out federal immigration enforcement. We built on that through Illinois Way Forward, ending our state's participation in immigration detention and making it clear that Illinois would not profit from family separation or mass detention. And we haven't stopped building. Just this year, we passed House Bill 1312, Safety and Liberation Together, alongside so many immigrant-led organizations, one of the strongest immigration justice packages in the country. We also passed the Safe Schools for All Act because every child deserves to learn in a classroom, not in fear. And last session, I was proud to sponsor Senate Bill 1995 to strengthen protections around immigration-related data, because information collected by our government should never become a roadmap for detention. None of these laws happen by accident. We came from immigrant families, from rapid response, from legal advocates and community organizations showing us where the next gap existed and asking us to close it. Together, these laws form an architecture of protection. And if our laws didn't matter, this administration wouldn't be working so hard to get around. Today's reporting is just the latest example. Every time Illinois and states build protections, this administration looks for another way around them. When we limit cooperation, they search for new partners. When we close detention centers, they always look for ways to override state law. When we protect sensitive information, they search for new ways to obtain it. Now that we are learning that ICE is attempting to use federal detention contracts to declare that state law simply does not apply. Think about that. Not because Congress changed the law, not because the people of Illinois changed the law, but because this administration believes it can write our laws out of existence through the fine print of a federal contract. This isn't simply disagreement over immigration policy. It is contempt for democratically enacted state law. It is attack on the ability of states to govern themselves. And if a federal contract can simply declare that Illinois does not apply, then this isn't just an immigration issue. It is a democracy issue. The tactics may have changed since Operation Midway Blitz was here in Chicago, but the objective has not. What we are witnessing in our communities is sustained intimidation. It is surveillance. It is becoming increasingly violent. These aren't abstract words. They are parents in our districts that are afraid to take their children to school. They are the workers that are afraid to report wage theft. They are the families who hesitate before seeking medical care because they don't know where their information might end up. Every database can become a surveillance tool. Every technology contract can become another avenue for detention. Every gap in the law can become another opportunity to target our communities, which is why we have focused so much on enforcement and data protections. Because the next frontier of immigrant justice is not just who can detain someone, it is who can access their information. It is how that information is shared. It is whether the personal information that people provide to a school, a hospital, a state agency, or another trusted public institution is later weaponized against them, which is why our work cannot stop. And this administration evolves its methods of surveillance, intimidation, and detention. Illinois will continue to evolve our protections. We will continue strengthening data protections. We will continue expanding sanctuary protections and spaces and strengthening enforcement of our own laws, so that the protections that we pass are protections that people can actually depend upon. We will continue defending our laws in court. We will continue passing the next generation of legislation. And we will continue maintaining Illinois as a sanctuary state because we are choosing every single tool that is available to us. From our neighbors responding in rapid response, as I think about my folks that have been out since 5 a.m. this morning, to legislators drafting the next generation of protections, to attorneys defending our laws in court, we are not standing still. Every time they find a new way, we will keep going because that is what this moment requires, and that is exactly what we will continue to do. Thank you. And I see time, but I'm going to take just a little bit of prerogative in Spanish because I see a Spanish hymn and I gotta do it. The Latina woke up. I'm sorry. Hola, en breve, soy la senadora Graciela Guzmán, representa Distrito 20. Estamos aquí como legisladores que representan a todo el país para continuar promulgando que es el rol que tenemos en pasar leyes que continúan abogando, protegiendo a nuestra comunidad.
All right, we are listening in on lawmakers in Chicago speaking out on a push for the ability to sue ICE agents in state court. We know that Minnesota is being represented there with State Senator Omar Fateh. We will continue to follow this story and bring you the very latest here on WCCO and CBS News Minnesota. In other news, tailgates, watch parties, and yelling "Skol" with your fellow fans is closer than you think. Vikings training camp, it starts today. And to celebrate, the team, they shared some really lovely back to Skol photos. This is what I'm talking about. I mean, look at this. Of course, JJ, it is his 7th training camp for the Vikings. And these photos, I mean, they are just cracking me up. I mean, I'm just going to walk you through some of them. If I can get my mouse over there. So good. They're just awesome. And even some rookies got involved. You can see coming up here, there's Caleb Banks alongside Dominique Orange. My personal favorite, though, is this next one, because look at that. That smile. He is cheesing just like a kindergartner. We do have some updates on the team for you guys. A few updates here. The team's recently hired defensive back coach Gerald Alexander, and he's suspended for 3 weeks without pay. That's for an arrest on charges of a DWI back in April, plus a contract extension for offensive tackle Brian O'Neill. He'll be staying through the 2030 season. And we all know they've got multiple quarterbacks checking in to train. J.J. McCarthy, Kyler Murray, and Carson Wentz. This season, they're hoping to have more consistency and fewer injuries. Head coach Kevin O'Connell says it's game on in practice today.
It'll be good to do that so we can prepare that player for the season, but also give our team and our players clarity of exactly the direction we're going, and then make sure that that whenever that happens, that's not the end all. I mean, we need to continuously chase improvement amongst our whole team, and there's other competitions.
I'll cover it. And later today, we'll hear from Brian Flores, the defensive coordinator for the Vikings, and some players. WCCO's Mike Max is also bringing us behind-the-scenes access to Vikings training camp on social media, along with insight direct from his sources. So be sure you're following WCCO on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok to stay ahead of the season. Of course, we will share all of that continued coverage on WCCO and here on CBS News Minnesota as well. Still to come, state leaders are highlighting Minnesota's nudification ban as a new legal battle threatens its ability to do so. How state leaders are responding.